Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you don't know, I'm Nikki and I would love if you could subscribe to my channel and join my family here. I post mostly makeup content, but from time to time I do vlogs and story times like today. So yeah, today's video is going to be about a time in my life that was literally a decade ago, guys. I'm 27 now. This took place when I was 17, and let me tell you, the drama was at an all-time high. I got told off by this girl's boyfriend in class for something that I didn't even do. I was blamed for making a whole anonymous page to bash people that I didn't do. I don't know. It was a time in my life. For once I was super innocent and I was getting all these all this shit thrown at me for I don't know what reason, but what a great learning experience. If you want to know what happened to me 10 years ago, then let's jump right into this video. Okay, so as you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm at another part of my beauty room, and I just wanted this to be a real chill, laid back story time. I'm sitting on my couch. I have my water right here. I'm just chilling, and yeah, I wanted to do a little laid back story time, laid back with my hair and makeup done, but you know what I'm talking about. So I wanted to tell this story time. I totally forgot about this until the other day. I was thinking back to high school and I was like, oh my god, this really fucking happened to me. I didn't deserve it, but let me tell y'all what happened. So about 10 years ago, or a little bit before, I would say, when was it? Okay, so I was a sophomore. It was the summer right before junior year. I had a best friend, and I'm gonna name him Nate, right? So I had this best friend, Nate, who we were platonic friends. We were actually best friends, and we would confide in each other, whatever. And he started dating this girl. I'm gonna name her Sarah. Okay, so he started dating Sarah, and I liked Sarah. I didn't really know her, but I liked her for him. I told him, you know, he obviously asked me what I thought of her, and I was like, she's so beautiful, you should definitely talk to her. She seems like such a sweet, nice girl. I'm friends with one of her best friends, and she just seems like a great girl. And I was totally for it, 100%. But okay, so once they did start dating, this was the summer before junior year, I noticed she started getting mad that I was his best friend. And I think in the beginning it was more her friends were in her ear. She obviously was upset about it, as any girl would be. When this first went down, I was hearing a lot of things, that Sarah was mad that I was close to Nate. I totally get it, totally understood it, you know, no big deal. So when that first happened, I did tell Nate hey, we need to kind of not be so close. And I'm not even gonna lie, I was hella salty about it, because that was my best friend at the time, and I was just I'm losing my best friend because of these girls, but I understood it. Okay, I want you guys to understand that I understood it and I wasn't against it. I understood. So I literally was telling Nate we can't be close, you know, things are gonna change between us. And you know, I wasn't upset about it. I was internally salty, but I just agreed with her. Nate did not agree with her. He was upset about it. He was like, you know what, fuck this, this is bullshit. I'm not gonna let her come between our friendship. She needs to understand that we are just friends, blah 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 blah. And he didn't understand what position that he was putting me in. Because of that, he literally put me right in the line of fire with all of these girls, and they were all older than me. So I was about to be a junior and they were all about to be seniors, and Nate was about to be a senior as well. So I was the only one who was younger than everybody. He literally threw me in the line of fire. So that summer before my junior year and their senior year, Nate and I were coaching youth cheerleading team and football team. So we ended up spending a lot of time together because our parents would carpool take us. So we ended up spending a lot of time, especially because practices were 5 days a week during the summer. So we spent a lot of time together. And of course, Sarah didn't like that, which again, totally understandable. I totally get it. I did coach with her best friends though. Two of her best friends. I'm gonna name one Lacey and then the other one Maritza. I don't know. So Lacey and Maritza did coach with me, and at first they were totally cool with me, and the thing is, like, they could see that Nate and I would like carpool together, but then we'd separate because he would go coach football and I would go coach cheerleading, and then after we'd come together and then go home. So like Nate and I were not hanging out, we were literally just carpooling together. So I remember one day, her friends were cool with me. Like her friends, let me not. One day after a practice, me and Nate were we were sitting in front of a Big Lots, I think, or a Big Five. I don't remember, but we were waiting to get picked up in a parking lot. And he's showing me these messages from Sarah to him. And I remember specifically Sarah telling him, it's not that I don't trust you, it's that I don't trust her, right? So like she didn't trust me being his friend. She thought like I wanted him. He was showing me this stuff and he was upset. I was just like, where is she hearing that I want to be with him, you know? So he was showing me and he like wanted my feedback, which I thought was weird because I was like, bro, we're just friends. Like, what are you telling me this for? I don't fucking want to be with you. Like, I literally told him, no, like, we're just friends. And he was like, okay, just making sure. Okay. I'm sitting there and he's showing me these messages and I'm just really confused. And I literally tell him like, dude, I get it. I totally understood where she was coming from. So here's the thing that made me really upset during this time, because I agreed with them. Nate did not. And Nate was like, no. You know, he was so adamant on us still being best friends and still being close while still being with Sarah. And obviously he wasn't getting any backlash. It was just all me. So I was getting frustrated because like I was getting blamed for everything when I'm the one who's agreeing with her. But I'm getting treated poorly, right? So after a while, cheerleading ends, we stop coaching, and we end up going back to school. So now I'm in junior year and they're in senior year, okay? I'm just gonna fast forward through all of this. So basically junior year, all of these girls made my life a living hell, and there was like 4 or 5 of them. I don't remember all of them, but there was a good group of them who all disliked me and hated me, and it frustrated the hell out of me because they didn't understand that like I agreed with them. But like Nate had this like fucking hold on me that like wouldn't let me just distance myself. He would not let me. And so it got to the point where like they kept saying, oh, she's disrespecting their relationship. She's a homewrecker. And like they started calling me all these names and calling me disrespectful. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm sitting here and I'm trying to respect them, but her boyfriend is the one that's not respecting her. And I'm the one getting blamed. I was pissed. Like, y'all don't know the internal battle I had, because I just wanted to air all his shit out. I wanted to like tell on him for like all the things that he was telling me and doing. And I'm the one who's trying to be respectful, but I'm the one getting all the backlash. Like, it was just this whole like fuckery. So finally I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. You guys want to paint me as this bitch? I'm gonna be this bitch. So it really turned me into an ugly person, and I wish, oh my god, I wish I could just like go back in time. Well, not now because I learned so many lessons, but if I knew what I know now, I would have gone back in time and just been like, no, I'm not doing this, and just walked away and just never talked to Nate again, because the things I endured because of this man. That year goes by. I have a ton of drama with these girls. They're doing the most, okay? Just doing the most towards me, doing nothing towards him. He is not getting any type of repercussions at all. I mean, him and Sarah would fight over me, but like she would always forgive him, but I was like getting bullied and shit, right? That's fine. And like I didn't really have any friends to like have my back. It was literally me against 5 girls all the time. Moving forward, so now it is senior year. All these girls have graduated. My life is like 10 times better, at least I think it's gonna be. It wasn't. I'm so excited to finally go back to school and live my best and have my good senior year without all the drama. Do you think that happened? No. There is this thing called Formspring, and if you're my age, you probably know what it is. If you're younger, you don't know, but it was like this anonymous website where like you would create a website and people could send you stuff anonymously, and it's called Formspring. You could send messages anonymously, or you can send it like with your, or not, what is it, not anonymous? Like you can send it with your profile. so they know it's you, whatever. So there's this thing called Formspring, and it was like huge. Everybody had a Formspring, everybody, okay? So it's like we checked it like how we would check Facebook at the time, you know, like it was this big thing. Every day we would get on Formspring and see like what people messaged us, and I would get a lot of hate. Wonder from who, but I would get a lot of hate, and a lot of, even those girls, like the girls that I didn't like, they would get a lot of hate too. Let me just put it out there that it was never me. Let me just put it out there that it was never me, ever. One day I'm hanging out with my best friend Chantel. I don't even know what we were doing, but we were not home, okay? We went out hanging out with our friends or doing whatever. Maybe we were at the mall. I have no clue where we were, but we come home, we get on the computer, and we both go to Formspring, and everything just blew up on Formspring. Everything just blew up. We go, and I have like this, I don't know if they were adding me. I forgot if you could add people on Formspring or if I got a message. I don't remember, but this profile showed up on both of our Formsprings, and it was like, F the 09 girls, right? And so I graduated 2010. All those girls were 09 girls, right? So it was like, that's how old I am, okay? Don't come for me. I know I'm old. But they were like, the page was called F the 09 girls, I think. And it was a whole page dedicated to those 5 girls and like talking crap about them. And immediately I look at Chantel and I'm like, they're gonna think this is me. So immediately I start getting all these text messages, and people are like, did you create that Formspring? Did you create that page? And I'm like, no, like I didn't create it, whatever. So I go onto that page, and there's messages from those girls, and with their profiles, they're not anonymous, and it's those girls, and they're like, fucking Nicole, like we know this is you, and blah, blah, blah. And to me, I don't know who it is, but if I could like say who it is, I think it was some girls from Northview, which was our like rival school, right? I don't know, but I don't think they were somebody from our school, because people from our school, they all knew the drama with me and those girls. So when they got those messages, if it was someone from our school, they would have lied and said, yes, it's Nicole, because that's the easiest like get out, is to be me, right? But those girls had messaged that Formspring and said, we know this is Nicole, or there was like anonymous one saying, is this Nicole? And the responses were, huh? Question mark. Like if they didn't even know who I was, those were the first responses, like, huh? What are you talking about? And I was like, who is this person? Like, obviously they don't know the drama that I have with them. Like this has to be someone from a different school. That's just what I thought. I don't know to this. I still don't know who it was. It wasn't me. But of course, everyone thought that this page was me. So, well, not everybody. There were people who knew it wasn't me. But like those girls especially thought it was me. So it was either somebody from a different school or it was one of them. I see this page and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you serious? Like, this is the last thing I need. Like, these girls are already graduated. Like, why is this happening? Okay, so Lacey, I didn't have a problem with Lacey, but for some reason, Lacey thought that my problem was directly tied to her, not Sarah. My problem was with Sarah, not Lacey. But she really thought I had all this animosity towards her, which I didn't, and I don't. Like, by the way, this was 10 years ago. I know none of these girls are like this. Like, this is back then. Because I know I'm nothing like the person I was 10 years ago. I'm sure they're nothing like those girls. Like, I have no problem with them. I don't know anything about them, but I'm not like making this video because I'm like upset with them, okay? Just like want to put that out there. I have no problem, no issues. We were young and stupid, okay? So for some reason, Lacey got some anonymous, this is the stupidest thing. She got some anonymous messages. Sorry, my like ring thing was going off. Lacey had got some anonymous messages, I guess, and they were pretending to be me, and it was like so obvious that it was me, and it was like, I'm not scared of you. I know you hate that me and Nate are best friends, and me and Sarah have it was like the weirdest thing. And I see this, right? And I'm like, why on earth would I write to her anonymously, but like say that it was me? It was weird. It was obviously, like, anyone with a brain would know that someone's fucking with her. That doesn't even make any sense. Like, any sense. And even like other people were like, dude, that's the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, I know. And then she's replying like, oh, you're scared of me, that's why you're on anonymous. Like, why would I write to her anonymously but say it was me? Like what type of sense does that make? Can I tell the story? Okay, I forgot where I was, but anyways, why would I write to her anonymously? I don't know, it was like the dumbest thing ever. And like she was responding like, oh, you're scared of me. And I'm like, girl, you're like 5'1", dude, I'm 5'7", double your size. Like, what are you talking about? It was the dumbest thing I had ever seen in my life. But again, more drama, right? So I'm just sitting there like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I am literally just sitting here. Why is this shit happening? Like, I am not doing anything. And granted, yeah, I was mad at them. I had beef with them, but I wasn't on Formspring doing these things. Like, I digress. So there's this whole Formspring dedicated to these 5 girls. Then there's these anonymous messages that supposedly are me. Whatever. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. Most people know that that Formspring's not me. Of course, those girls probably thought it was me, whatever. So moving on. Then Lacey gets her own Formspring. That's F Lacey. I don't remember what it was called, but it was like F Lacey. And now it was like a page directed directly towards Lacey. And this one, I'm almost positive, was her making it herself, whatever. So she has this like F Lacey page. And Lacey had just started dating this guy. I'm going to name him Craig. I have no idea what his name is in real life. I don't even know. So Craig, okay? So Lacey was dating Craig. Craig is such an ugly name. Let me change that to Brandon. Okay, that's better. So Lacey was dating Brandon, right? And Brandon was going to, I think he was going to Northview. He was going to some school, and he ended up transferring to my high school, and he was my age. So he was also a senior. So she was graduated, he was a senior, and I was a senior. So he ends up coming to our school, and I don't know this guy. Never spoke to this dude in my life. Never once. I have no clue who this guy is other than the fact that he's dating Lacey. Let me remind you, my drama was with Sarah, but I don't know how it kept coming back to Lacey because of her. But I had no issue with Lacey. I literally did not give not 1 ounce of a fuck about Lacey. So Lacey's boyfriend comes to our school. He's a senior. I literally could fucking care less. I don't fucking care. All of a sudden, all these messages on Formspring are arriving about Lacey and Brandon. How Brandon is this and this and that, and Lacey is this, this and that, and then like they're like this couple. I don't know. I only remember one thing that was said about Brandon, but there was all these things being said about Brandon. So I have never spoken to Brandon a day in my life. I don't know his voice. I don't know how he talks, okay? But all of a sudden, there's all these messages saying Brandon has a lisp. Let me remind you again. Never spoken to this man in my life. No idea how he speaks. No idea what his voice sounds like. Nothing. I've never spoken to this man. But there's all these messages talking crap about his lisp that I've never heard, that I wouldn't know of until I saw these messages that obviously weren't from me. But however, in the comments back, Brandon and Lacey commenting back saying, I know this is you, Nicole. They would call me like the fat cheerleader. I know this is the fat cheerleader. And I'm like, but it's not me. It's not me. I don't care about you. My beef is with Sarah. Because Sarah's boyfriend is my best friend. Who the fuck are you? What? Do y'all get my drift here? Like, do y'all understand? Do y'all understand? All these things about Brandon's lisp are appearing on Formspring, and I could literally care less. One day, Brandon, I drove, right? Brandon drove, we both drove, we parked in the same parking lot. One day, Brandon is leaving school, and he sees a dick drawn on his window. This was another whole drama that apparently I did. But let me let you in on a little secret. I didn't. Why would I mess with someone's car when I have a car? I have a clear car. Everyone knows my car. I drive a convertible Mustang. Everybody knows that that's my car. Why would I fuck with someone's car when my car is so vastly known to everybody? I am literally the only one with a convertible Mustang. There's literally a big ass picture of me in the yearbook sitting on my convertible Mustang with the top down. Everyone knows that's my car. Why would I mess with someone's car? Like, hello. None of it makes sense. None. Zero. None of it made sense. But okay. Apparently I drew a dick on Brandon's car. Which, by the way, I still to this day don't know what car is his. I still do not know what car is his car. To this, I have no clue. This shit popped off online. The big old thing. I don't know if it was on Facebook or Formspring or what. All of a sudden, I'm drawing dicks on people's cars now because I have nothing better to do. And apparently, I own the stuff to draw on cars. I have class with this guy, which I didn't even know I had class with this guy, okay? I had, I think, 5th period, like, or 6th period. The final period I had with this guy. He never spoke in that class. He sat all the way in the corner. I literally did not even know that he was in my class until like 3 days before he told me off in class, okay? So I didn't even realize that he was in my class, but I saw him. After all this drama one day, I saw him enter the class and I was like, oh my God, this guy's in my class. Like, I'm a fucking idiot. This whole time I had no clue that this guy was in my class, but I was like, whatever. I still don't care. He never spoke. Did not know that he had a lisp. He never spoke. He never participated in class. He wasn't like a smart person where he was like answering all the questions, you know. He was just like kind of hidden off to the back, which of course, if I had a lisp, I probably wouldn't want to talk either, you know. Obviously he was being bullied for it by Lord knows who. I'm sitting in class one day. This was like 5 days or 4 days later. I'm sitting in class and there's this whole thing about, like, there's all this drama online. Like, let me tell you, the drama did not fucking die down. There's all this drama online and I'm sitting there talking to one of my friends and I'm like, yeah, you know, Brandon thinks I drew like this dick on his car. He thinks I'm like saying all these things about him on Formspring and it's like, it's not me. So then he's like walking into class and then that person is like, I'm gonna call him over here so like you can square things out. And I'm like, okay, cool, like no biggie. And to my surprise, this guy has like all this pent up aggression and he like comes over to me and before I can even speak, he starts going off on me, calling me all these names, insulting my appearance, telling me like all these things, how I'm just like this horrible person. When I tell you guys, I was so shocked. I was sitting there like, I don't even think I responded. Because I was just so shocked. And I remember him saying, you want to sit there and talk shit about my lisp? Which, by the way, when he went off on me, he didn't even have a lisp. Like, I didn't even hear the lisp. So, where did that even... I don't even know. Does he have a lisp? I don't know. Because I talked to him later, but I'll get to that. And he didn't even have a lisp. So, I don't know what lisp that he's talking about. But I remember him saying, you want to sit there and talk crap about my lisp? And I was like... what lisp, dude? I was so shocked and I was like, oh my God, he actually believes that this is me. Like, it's not even like a conspiracy to him. Like, he 100% thinks it's me. Wow. 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 Okay, so I just sat there and before I could even respond, which I probably wouldn't have even responded because what do you say to that? I was so shocked. The teacher comes in and he goes and sits in his seat and I'm like, what the f just happened? So that happens to me. This guy came for me. Like, when I tell you, he like ripped me to fucking shreds in front of the entire classroom and I was sitting there like, I cannot believe that he really thinks I'm that person. Like, he honest to God believes that I'm this terrible person, that I'm like cyberbullying him and his girlfriend, that I literally could like, it was like really fucked up, okay? So all this happens. Eventually he finds out that one of his friends drew the dick on his car. It wasn't me. They eventually found out that it was his friend and they thought it was so funny. They thought the drama was so funny. Did I get an apology? Of course not. Okay, not until a few years later. The drama dies down. Everything dies down, like whatever. And it's like probably 2 years later or maybe a year and a half later. I don't remember how long. Maybe 3 years. I don't know. That whole time was a blur to me, but it's been a while, right? I'm at a kickback and I remember specifically being with my brother at this kickback and we're chilling, we're drinking, and I see Brandon come into the kickback and I'm like, immediately like my guard is up because I'm like, dude, this guy literally thinks that I was like bullying him when I wasn't. I don't want him here. I literally told my brother, like, I don't want this fucking guy here. And I think the party was for my brother because I remember telling him like he had some like maybe it was his friend's party, but I remember telling him like he had power over who could be there. And I was like, dude, I don't want this guy here. Like, you don't even know what this guy put me through. You have no idea what him and Lacey have put me through. And then my brother was like, Nicole, I don't want drama tonight. He's like, but if you really want me to tell him to leave, I will. And I was like, no, it's fine. But if he as so much looks my way, I'm gonna have an issue, I'm telling you right now. But he was just like, Nicole, like, it's fine, like, don't be dramatic. So I'm like, okay, like, it's cool, I can be cool. My brother didn't go talk to this guy. My brother was avoiding him too. Like, my brother did not like know him, whatever. So I'm just chilling, I'm like drinking, and out of nowhere, Brandon comes up to me and he's like, hey, can I talk to you? For fucking what, dude? Like, what on earth could you possibly want? Like, after all that shit, like, what do you want? I didn't fucking draw a dick on your car. And like, how stupid, like, think about how stupid that is. Like, really think about how stupid that fight was about. He's like, hey, can I talk to you? And I'm like, what's up? And he's like, so I'm not with Lacey anymore. I haven't been with her for like a while now. And I'm like, cool, I don't give a fuck. Like, I've never cared about Lacey's life, and I'm not about to start caring today. Like, I do not care. And he's like, no, like, I'm not trying to talk to you like about her or anything. He's like, I just feel like it's been eating me up, and like, I just want to say I'm so sorry. And this guy wasn't drunk. Like, he just, like, he's literally like sober. And he's like, I just want to say like, I'm so sorry. And I was so like, so he tells me like, hey, like, I just want to like say sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I've been thinking about it. And I promised myself that if I ever saw you, I would apologize because you deserve an apology for all that shit. And I couldn't believe it. I sat there and I literally like wanted to cry because I was like, oh my gosh, you see the light. Like, you know it wasn't me. And like, that whole group to this day probably thinks it was me. I have no clue. But to me, I was like, oh my God, like, you were one of the people that was like being attacked and thought it was me. And like, you actually realized that it wasn't me. I literally wanted to like cry because I was just sitting there like, finally, like, someone believes me, like, finally, which all my friends believed me and everybody that I knew believed me, and like, even all of Nate's friends knew that it wasn't me, but like, those girls were adamant that like, I was cyberbullying them. I don't know, but yeah, he like told me, he told me a few things. He was like, I'm so sorry, like, Lacey really is like insane. Like, she thinks a lot of things are about her, and like, she causes herself a lot of drama, and like, she's just addicted to that type of drama, which I don't know if that's true. A lot of times when guys say that their girlfriend's crazy, I'm always like, well, what did you do? Because I don't know, I'm like, I know I've been crazy in relationships, and I know it's because of the people that I was with, you know. So I try not to like judge anybody, but he was telling me that stuff, and I was just like, okay, yeah, like, thank you for saying sorry. Like, I just wanted you to know, like, none of that was me. Like, none of the messages, none of the pages that were made. And he's like, no, trust me, I know it wasn't you. And I was like, thank you. I felt like I could breathe. So yeah, so after that, I literally never saw him again. I never saw him at a party again. Nothing. Like, I never saw him again. I don't even think I saw any of those girls ever again. I know that like, this story was a long time ago and we all did stupid shit, so like, don't judge anybody in this video. Like, trust me, I have stories I want to tell. I did some stupid ass shit, okay? I'm not even gonna lie. I was petty, I was a bitch, I did some things. So I know that like, at least I hope that none of us are like in that mentality anymore, and like, we've all grown. I know I've done my fair share of growing and like going through. Trust me, I got my karma for all the shit I did. I got my karma, okay? I have a whole series of story times I want to tell about my ex, because when I tell you I got my karma, I have some stories. That's the story of how everyone thought that I was up on the internet creating fake pages and being anonymous and doing all these things. And I wish I could know. If anybody knows who it was, can y'all let me know? Like, let me know. We ain't gonna fight, I just want to know. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys like my story times. If you do, let me know so I can make more. And let me tell you, I have so many that I want to make. But yeah, if you stayed to the end, thank you so much. I love you so much, and hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye.